Now, I wanted to ask you this person because the next two topics that I had these came up in conversation. Um, do you believe that DeMar DeRozan is a leader? And the reason why I'm asking that, somebody was saying no. They also were feeling like he's not a point guard or a playmaker. He doesn't make the team better. And I was like, well, because I remember when we last talked, and you were saying, well, he goes over to the Spurs and he was averaging 7, 6 assists, and I'm like, yeah, he is. Like I thought he was a playmaker. Like if you say point guard, all right, that could be tough, but playmaker, yeah, certainly. And when I think playmaker, I'm thinking playmaker who produces, and he just crumbled to LeBron, and then he lost to Giannis. Like those are two elite players in the history. Like that, I can't say those are reasons why DeMar DeRozan losing to them are reasons why DeMar DeRozan isn't a leader. And then he tried to say, well, DeMar had poor games. I'm like, he had a 41 piece in game two. Like, can we not give him no love? Oh, that's not a leader. Oh, okay, cool. And he's averaging 20. That's not a leader. About the regular season when he was an MVP candidate carrying that Bulls team that was injury riddled. Like, do you believe DeMar DeRozan is a leader? And he was even trying to not harp on the Bulls part. I was like, fine, take away the Bulls, even on the Spurs. You carried that Spurs team to a 10th seed. Like that's not bad. Like that, I wasn't expecting anything from the Spurs. So, do you believe that DeMar DeRozan is a leader?
Yeah. If somebody says DeMar DeRozan isn't a leader, they don't watch enough basketball, or they just started watching basketball. Because Toronto, DeMar DeRozan was a problem. Like you said, he just kept running into the best player of this generation. If he was losing to the Hawks or the Wizards every single year, year in, year out, if he was losing to Paul George head-to-head every single year, then it's like, okay, dog. But he was losing to LeBron, who was going to the finals and winning half the time, or every other year or so at that point, right? That's not a knock. They were winning 50 games a year in the regular season. To me, that's a leader. I don't know how you're not a leader. He's the best player in the team that's winning 50 games per year. Two coaches, 50 games per year. So it didn't matter. He was, of course, along with Kyle Lowry, but he was the consistent piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even when he left, like you said, went to San Antonio, your leadership isn't going to show as much because Pop is there, right? Pop runs that ship. Tim Duncan's never vocal or anything. As we know, he's a leader, but still, Tony Parker, we don't look at him as a leader. He is, but Pop is what runs that ship. So, and then he came back to Chicago, Billy Donovan coach, and look what they're doing, right? They were a scary team. He was putting up Wilt numbers for a stretch. So, yeah, anybody who says he's not a leader is crazy, is disrespectful, and maybe they just don't understand the little nuances of basketball, right? I don't know. That's crazy. Or whoever said that is crazy.
Well, that's from my boy Ira on "You're Not Gonna Like This Sports," and I can honestly say I did not like that.
Very fitting. Very
you know
fitting.
what I mean? You know what I mean? But like again, though, that's his brand, so I'm not knocking him. I'm trying to give him a plug. So go show him some love. But I'll have him on the show again because I told him I will with some other folks. So now other people can comment on these takes. Like I felt like there was a consistency issue. He mentioned how DeMar DeRozan got gentleman swept, but now forget the other athlete that we were talking about. But he got swept, and I'm like, oh, but and then he said, oh, but they were tough games, and I'm like, well, didn't DeMar lose? And then and then he brings up DeMar getting swept by LeBron when the Raptors supposedly had the better team. I'm like, I don't think they had the better team, champ. Like it's not definitively like that. And they lost.
Didn't KD just get swept by the Celtics?
Well, hold on. I hit them with didn't they lose off 2 buzzer beaters? Like, is that not close? And again, going back to your point about the other athlete, which I'm mad I can't remember who we were talking about, but he was giving him his flowers and saying he is a leader because he lost close games, but he got swept. And I'm like, well, you don't give the same love to DeMar DeRozan. Let's provide some consistency here. So,
Context matters, right?
You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a standard in place. So make sure y'all pay attention to that word standard because that does apply later on. But
I always try to preface stuff by saying context matters for that purpose. Yep.
It matters a lot. But, for the final quick take, Freddie, Ira also made another statement, so you might not like this.
Okay.
Well, so we're talking about Paul. So we're talking about, I like that. So